Hi y'all, welcome once again to the channel. Esoteric Cloud Surfer here, ready to take another ride in Esoteric Cloud, which is a lighter vehicle that is also vibing on a lower frequency and on a higher frequency and vibration, and it's also lighter and less dense than the vehicles that we are using right now. So when your spirit jumps into Esoteric Cloud, it can fly, it can float to higher, more expanded, wider and wiser realms of reality as the clouds outside float above the early matters, your spirit can do that. Float above the early matters, float above the circumstances, and then you can see yourself in a higher way and feel better at yourself and your circumstances. Alright, so this video is a special video. It's a video integrating this main channel and my gaming channel. If you don't know, I have a gaming channel, Esosu Gaming. I will leave the link in the description below, and I will also leave the link, an invite link to my Discord, Esosu Gaming as well, so you can join us and know when I go live and when I have new episodes. My Linktree, Darius pages, and my email for business and donations through PayPal will also be in the description below. So check that out, guys, and let's start the video. I wish you the best emotions, feelings, ideas, and imaginations. I wish you a lot of individuality so you can maintain your sanity. So, in my gaming channel, right now, I'm almost like 90% into Pokemon. We have Pokemon Unite, live streams, Pokemon Sword and Shield VGC live streams and episodes, and we also have Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Rescue Team DX playthrough episodes as well, and I'm also doing Magic the Gathering pack openings back in the gaming channel, right? And the base, or why I created the gaming channel, was to do exactly this type of videos. For me to experience the games, and naturally, since I've started my spiritual awakening, and if you do, it's very easy, you can do it by yourself to see certain messages, to see certain patterns, to see certain themes, to see certain intentions placed in movies, games, shows, even advertisements and the products itself that those corporations and companies are promoting and selling, right? So this video is about Pokemon, an esoteric breakdown of Pokemon, more specifically about the 4th generation, where you explore the region of Sinnoh in English, right? And this video is also calling you out from this channel to go and check out the gaming channel, right? So you can understand better where I'm coming from with these esoteric points of view, right? Because how are you going to understand what I'm going to say in this video if you don't know the specific Pokemon I'm talking about, right? So go check it out. Sometimes I drop some gems on the live streams and on the videos, right? But I'm always seeing things with a different eye, with my own personal eye, and I love to share that. That's why I have a YouTube channel, right? Because I love to share that. I love to broadcast my personal ideas, my personal perspectives, right? So yeah, go on, check out the gaming channel and let's get started. So, Pokemon, right? First, very generical, esoteric breakdown of Pokemon. Pokemon comes from the original name of pocket monsters. In Japanese, Poketo Monster, right? I do love those when Japanese people speak in English. They have a very funny accent, right? So pocket monsters, why? Because Pokemon are creatures with special powers, and you can catch them with Pokeballs. And Pokeballs are balls that they contract the Pokemon into a specific space. They contract, and then the Pokeballs also contract and they get smaller. So as a contract, when you go to work and things like that, they are encapsulating your spirit. They are putting your spirit into a lower state of being in order to hold you accountable to a certain time schedule, to a certain rules and regulations to certain things that you can't or cannot do in your life. On the Pokemon life, it only means he's going back to his Pokeball to rest, but he's indeed contracted and he goes into the Pokeball. So the Pokemon, they are pocket monsters because in the Pokeball, where you contain the contracted Pokemon, is in your pocket because it gets really small. And also because, if you don't know, the game of Pokemon came first than the anime. Yeah, that's right. The first game came out in 1996, if I'm not wrong, and the anime came out in 97 or 98 or even in 99, but I'm not really sure, but I will point to 97, 98, I will leave 99 to the side a little bit, right? And at the time the first game came out, it will be on the Game Boy, not even the Game Boy Color. It will be the first Game Boy, black and white Game Boy, that will go into your pocket as well. That's why it's called Pocket Monsters. But the thing is, let's focus more on the monsters part. Because to me, the Pokemons represent your lower animalistic natures. And in the Pokemon series, on the shows, on the games, then they have a lot of spin-offs that, in my perspective, the spin-offs are the real games. The spin-offs have the real juice, the real spiritual messages in it, but you can catch a lot of gems on the main storyline games as well, right? So, where I was going? Yeah, the monsters represent your lower animalistic nature, and throughout the show and the games, the most thing that you will see, it will be a trainer, a higher animalistic nature, creating a deep and healthy connection with its lower animalistic natures. That's what we should do in this realm. Connect with our lower animalistic natures. Don't let them run wild and hurt us and hurt the others around us and make us manifest things that are not useful for our current experiences, but create a healthy, strong bond where we help the lower animalistic nature and the lower animalistic nature helps us. That's why I don't like when I see like a bit of a trend, like I'm killing my demons and shit like that. You don't necessarily need to kill your demons. You can team up with them. You can place them to work for you. And you will save yourself time and energy, but that's another video. Let's keep going. So the Pokemon are the representation of your lower and animalistic natures, and they have many types: fire, fairy, steel, water, bug, ghost, ground, and so on. And they represent different facets of our demons, of our lower bodies that spirits created, that spirits that were following us to this space created to work with us, within us as well, right? And as any creativity, any movie, any show, especially from the big corporation, especially from Hollywood, Bollywood, especially from, because Bollywood is like the second Hollywood, is a copy. It's the B version of Hollywood, Bollywood. Simple, right? So, especially from those big corporations, they always talk about the stars and the alignments and tarot cards, because it's not because they are in a big corporation, and it's not because they have a specific agenda. They do have a specific agenda, but they have no choice. You have no choice. I have no choice. We live under those stars. They are the higher animalistic natures that we look up to in order to elevate our own spirit. So everything, any creative endeavor we go into, it has some percentage level talking about stars, esoteric experiences. There is no choice, there is no running away from it, because every person, even a scientist, even a religious person, even an atheist, you're just an atheist, that doesn't matter. Everybody is a spirit in a body. So you have no choice, if you are into your creativity, to send some esoteric gems to talk about the stars, to represent the planets, to represent the flow of energy and things like that. So in Pokemon, there is exactly that as well. Representations of astrological themes, of subconscious archons, which are patterns that the most, aka shapes and forms that most spirits go into. That's why they are themes. They are easily recognizable. And we, me and you, and a lot of people can point to that idea, to that principle and virtue and relate with each other talking about that because we all understand, because our spirit once made that shape and form. That's why sometimes you call the collective archives, the collective archons, the collective subconscious, right? It's not really the collective subconscious that doesn't exist. Everybody has its own individual subconscious, but we coming down to this realm. We share the routes, we shared vehicles, we shared perspectives, we traveled through the same spaces, so we can share same ideas from our subconscious, right? And that's why every creator, every movie director, every game developer, every musical producer, they in same way, shape and form, they are talking about the stars, alignments, and the esoteric travels, because we are always doing that. When you're traveling in the car, you are traveling physically and esoterically, right? So that was just explaining why am I making sense and what I'm saying it's truth, because you are experiencing spirituality in every moment of your day. It's just a question, it's just a matter of percentage level. How are you deep into spirituality, or are you very light in spirituality? It can make a difference. A bath can be just a bath, or can be a cleansing ritual. Eating a burger can be eating a burger, or it can be a manifestation ritual, right? It depends. So, as everybody does, the creators of Pokemon, they also represented some collective structures, some themes, some patterns that you can recognize. And the specific one I'm talking about is the fourth generation of Sinnoh, the Sinnoh region. That region is not specifically inspired in anything on the real world. But, as an example, the fifth generation of Pokemon, Pokemon Black and White, Pokemon Black and White 2, they are inspired in New York. New York. It's the Unova region, the New York, New Unova, because Novo or Nova, it's the word for new in Portuguese, right? But Novo for the masculine and Nova for the feminine, because we do distinguish genders while we speak. In English, you just use the, right? You don't have a specific for male and female or masculine and feminine. So, and then the sixth generation, for example, Pokemon X and Y, is inspired in France and in Paris specifically. The seventh generation of Pokemon Sun and Moon is inspired in Hawaii. And the eighth most recent generation, Pokemon Sword and Shield, is inspired in England. And you can always get some esoteric information, some things about the past, some things about when we were spirits in the water fighting for space, right? You got legends, you got stories, you got tales, you got folklore, right? And in the fourth region, the fourth generation, I mean, of Pokemon Diamond and Pokemon Pearl. Because even through the names of the Pokemon games, you can see a pattern. You got Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Silver, Gold, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, and then it changes to Black and White, then X and Y, then Sun and Moon, and now Sword and Shield. Right? So there's always a common theme to each specific game, right? I'm talking so much just to prove that to you, which maybe I don't need to, right? Maybe you get me in my first words and I'm here wasting your time and my energy. That doesn't matter. Let's focus, right? Let's come back to the point. So, Sinnoh region, fourth generation. I want to talk specifically about the legendaries of the Pokemon Diamond, Pokemon Pearl, and Pokemon Platinum. But the fourth generation has a very, very special event happening, because in that generation, the creator of all Pokemon were introduced. They call them Arceus or Arceus, the Archangel, right? An higher angel. And it created everything, even humans, in their own perspective, and that connects to the religious and scientific lostness, because even scientists and religious people fight with each other, but they believe in the same thing. They believe everything was created from one common source. Religious people, God, Allah, the Most High. Scientific people, the Big Bang, the atom. They believe in one creator for everything. Okay? So, Pokemon, Nintendo, they are in the magic square. So when you look at what they are presenting to you, you must always have a lostness filter. Like, that doesn't make sense. If one thing created everything, there wouldn't be such thing as individuality or me having my own personal tastes, likes, dislikes. The concept I wouldn't exist as well, right? Or the concept we. The concept we is very, very powerful because it's talking about a collective, but why you say we? Because you know you are an individual in the collective. So you're talking about the collective and yourself. That by itself proves that that notion of one creator is old and outdated, right? Our spirits know that. So, first we have Pokemon Diamond and Pokemon Pearl. Pokemon Platinum came 1 year later, and in every Pokemon game you have a lot of legendaries and mythical Pokemons. They are stronger, harder to get, with cool designs and powers Pokemons, right? And most times you can only get one per game, and if you have Pokemon Diamond, you can catch Dialga. If you have Pokemon Pearl, you can catch Palkia. But if you have Pokemon Pearl, you cannot catch Dialga, and if you have Pokemon Diamond, you cannot catch Palkia, because Dialga is the front page, is the front face of Pokemon Diamond, and Palkia is the representation, is the icon of Pokemon Pearl. But then on Pokemon Platinum, we have Giratina or Giratina, it depends on the dialect of your natal tongue, and he is a representation of something else. And in that game, on Pokemon Platinum, it's like a fusion of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. So you can catch Giratina, Palkia, and Dialga. And the Pokemon Company decided to do that back at Generation 1 when they created Pokemon Silver, my first and favorite game. Lugia is the cover legendary for Pokemon Silver. That will be the next video, and it's still my favorite Pokemon till the day. And Pokemon Gold, and then they created Pokemon Crystal, which is still in the same region with a lot of the same events, but some different touches and some different Pokemons you can catch. It doesn't change a lot. It's a marketing strategy, but also it indicates a further depth into the lore and into the creation of those universes, right? So, Pokemon Diamond and Pokemon Pearl. It's a lot about the Sinnoh region. It has a lot of legendaries, a lot of mythicals. It's a place of legends. It is a very, very, very old region which has transformed and changed its name throughout the times, but it has one very common point: Mount Coronet. And it's one single huge mountain in the middle of the Sinnoh region. And the tales of the Sinnoh region says that every part of the Sinnoh region was created from Mount Coronet. And you can find that in the Bible, Mount Hermit, the Mount Zion, and things like that, where God talked with Moses or something. I'm not in my strongest biblical game, but it's one mount, one top, one high, one creator, right? And then you have Dialga and Palkia. And Dialga represents Saturn. Palkia represents Jupiter. Why? Because Dialga is a dragon type and steel type, and his signature move is the Roar of Time, and Dialga controls time. And if you are into astrology, you know that Saturn is about time, and Saturn is kinda hard. and it's about limits and boundaries, and it's sturdy. And dragon type, it back in the day it was the strongest type. It was so strong that in generation 6 the Pokemon company created another type that is super effective on dragon, which is fairy type. It was necessary to balance the game because dragon will be so strong. And if you are into spirituality, you know that a dragon is the highest vehicle in a specific realm of reality, which was created by the highest spirit in a specific realm of reality. So the dragon type already indicates a higher spirit, and then the steel type indicates toughness, sturdiness, consistence, and contraction. Saturn, then Dialga possesses the roar of time, and it possesses the power to control time. It's infinitely the representation of Saturn. Then Palkia. Palkia is also a dragon type Pokemon, but it's water type Pokemon. And Jupiter is very emotional. It rules Sag, feelings, it rules Pisces, water, and it's exalted in Cancer. So dragon and water represents a higher spirit that knows how to deal with the waters, to expand, to create new worlds, to envision and then make that true, make that dance. That's Jupiter, to expand. Saturn is to contract. Steel, right? And Palkia is signature move, the move that that only Palkia can learn is Spatial Rend. And Dialga is the master, the lord of space. And we have the space and time continuum is just a representation of Saturn and Jupiter. So Palkia is the representation of Jupiter, right? So there you go. Dialga is Saturn and Palkia is Jupiter. And then in the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, you have a certain team, a bad team, called Team Galactic. And they have their highest ranks are named by Mars, Jupiter, and things like that. And the leader is Cyrus. And if you are into astrology, into constellations, you know that in our surroundings we have one constellation called Cyrus or Sirius, depend on the dialect of your natal tongue, right? So that's a whole representation of Star Wars, esoteric conflagration, esoteric joining and separation of energies, right? So then on Pokemon Platinum you can catch Giratina, and Giratina was created at the same time as Dialga and Palkia, because the Pokemon lore says that first there was nothing. They're correct at that time. First, no spirit was aware of itself. Then an egg appeared, okay? An idea. That spirit was almost being aware of itself. That spirit was vibing in a very, very low frequency and vibration. Then, out of the egg, it came Arceus. It came everything. So, the thing is, Arceus did not create everything. The spirit that created the egg also created Arceus. So, everything came out of that egg. Lostness, but mixtured with truth. Because science and religion, they have some truth, but it's always incomplete, or they always have lies mixtured and tangled with truth as well. That's why they're perfect traps for your spirit, because your spirit feels good, feels right, but then ends up in doing some bullshit that does not serve you in any right way. But then Arceus came out of the egg with everything, and it created Dialga and Palkia and Giratina. So Giratina is part of the trio, your trinity, your sun, your moon, and your space. Your rising, no, not your space, but the space you chose to come into this realm. And Giratina is a representation of that. Because Giratina, he's a dragon and ghost type. So he does not make part of the real world. Because then Dialga and Palkia, by fighting, by coming together, by having sex, they created the material thing. They created everything that we can see and touch. But Giratina did not. Giratina had no involvement in the process of creation. right? Because Giratina was too aggressive. Giratina was fighting with no purpose. So then you can tell that Dialga and Palkia, they were fighting with a purpose. Giratina was not. He was too aggressive. He was too lost into his own animalistic natures. So he was banned to the reversed world by Arceus, by the Big Father. But that's another twist, because he didn't got banned to the reverse world, he came back to the spiritual realm. That's why he's a ghost type. He can travel between the spirit and the physical realm. So Dialga and Palkia, with their powers of space and time, created the physical realm. And if you into astrology and spirituality, you know what for us is left, for the spiritual realm is right. For what is wrong for us, it's right for them. What is close for us, what is up for us, for them is down. Because light bends in on itself, and as we bend in our own light, we completely reverse. So we are going down, but it looks we are looking up because of our perspective, right? And so Giratina, he didn't got banned. It's like you can't participate in our real world. You're too destructive. You are not making sense. So Giratina, he was too aggressive. He didn't know how to use his powers to build. He only knew how to use his powers to destroy. So he got banned to the spiritual world to be alone, to have no body, to have no power to experience and exist. But he can exist. He comes back in Pokemon Platinum, trying to destroy Palkia and Dialga so he can exist, because every spirit gets lonely and we always want to connect and exist. So Dialga is the time, Palkia is the space, and Giratina represents the nothing. Giratina represents the spiritual realm where time and space comes from. Space, as scientifically speaking, where those came from, Palkia, Giratina represents that, the spiritual world, the void, the nothing, where everything comes out from. And spirit is chaotic. The shadow government, they're always trying to make order out of chaos, and we chaos. The people is chaos, and Giratina represents that. The shapeless, formless nature of spirit, always changing, always moving so fast. So it's not Giratina is not aggressive, but Dialga and Palkia look at Giratina as aggressive because they are more calm, they are more collected, they are more into order. Giratina doesn't give a fuck about that. And that Giratina represents your lower animalistic natures, your sexual desires, the power of transformation, the darkness, the unknown. That's why when you go to catch Giratina, you need to go to the reversed world, which is the original world. It is reversed in comparison to here, but we came from the reversed world. We came from the spiritual realm. We came from darkness. We came from nothing. Night comes first, then day. It's not like day is always and then it's night. No, it's always dark. You need to create a light. You need to create a flare. Because if you go outside Earth, you'll see nothing. You need to create a spaceship, an organ that is able to receive and create lights in order to see something. Right? And Giratina represents that. The lower in Dialga's and Palkia's perspective. Right? Not in the generic perspective. Giratina represents that darker, unknown, mystic, spookism sometimes that we all experience. Yes, we have time, we have space, we can travel, we can tell the hours, we can look at the sky, we can make sense out of things, but every once in a while you got that feeling of uncertainty. You got that feeling of something is about to happen, but you can explain it. That's spiritual. That's spirit talking. That's Giratina, the lower animalistic natures that they don't make sense. And it's not supposed for them to make sense, right? So yeah, I think that's everything for now, guys. Palkia is the space, Jupiter, Dialga is time, Saturn, and Giratina is the space where Saturn and Jupiter are existing in. So in some way, Giratina is wiser, is wider. His spirit is bigger than Palkia and Dialga's spirit. That's why they can't understand Giratina. Giratina can't relate. Giratina can't join the team and build. Giratina wants to do things on his own. He's too individual, he's too unique, he's too destructive, he's too lower. But he has a kind nature if you can understand Giratina, right? But that's getting too much into their vision, which we don't want. We want to pass in Esoteric Cloud and just talk about it, just learn and have some fun here, alright? So, that's going to be everything for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, because I think we need to know what we're watching, we need to be aware and aware what we're playing, what type of messages are they sending to us, what type of feelings and thoughts they want us to be in, you know, and they ain't tricking us. I know Dialga is Jupiter, is Saturn, I know Palkia is Jupiter, and I know Giratina represents spirit, represents space, represents void, darkness, represents creation, represents movement, represents transformation, represents individuality, represents separation, because he got banned, right? And we know that, because that's how we create things in this reality, with time, by expanding ourselves, and then by detaching, going back to the spiritual realm, to rest or bring in new ideas. We need to build, we need to expand, and we need to destroy in order to build again, then to expand, then to destroy, and on and on and on. Right? So that's the trio of creation in the Pokemon lore. That's the trio of creation of existence, because then you have the trio of creation of the specific realm we live in. That's in the third generation. On the Owen region, a more tropical region, you have Groudon, who created the land, you have Kyogre, who created the sea, and you have Rayquaza, who created the air or the atmosphere. You know? That's how indigenous people will do back in the day. They will associate our abilities as like beings or gods or something like that. And we are doing the same, but in video games, movies and shows and whatever. Right? So, I hope you have enjoyed. I love you all. Until the next time, Esoteric Cloud Surfer, surfing out. Have fun and enjoy yourself.